Hey everybody, Fiber Spider back again with another origami tutorial for you. And today we are going to be making cute little pigs. Yes, adorable little pigs. I love how they are three-dimensional and they stand up so cutely and they just have so much personality. And they're really not that difficult to make, which is an extra bonus. And as always, yes, he has a little friend. I used some fancy paper for this one. Absolutely love how it came out. And so I'm going to show you how you can make these little guys. They're just, they're so stinking cute. I love them. Anywho, let's get started. Okay, so as per usual, you just need a square piece of paper. If it is colored on one side and white on the other, like traditional origami paper, start with the colored side facing down. Then I'm going to do a bunch of preliminary folds to get us started. All right, fold in half lengthwise to create a rectangle. And then unfold, turn, and fold the opposite way so that you have a cross of creases. There we go. Then unfold that. And then two of the corners are going to be folded to the center point. So you just want to line up your creases and get that point right in the center as best you can. There we go. And then one more. There. Okay, now this top edge and this bottom edge, fold it to the center crease line. Like so. There. Okay, so from here, going to fold these two bottom points up to about here, basically folding this line along this edge here. Make a triangle on either side. Like so, you got a little flap there, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Actually, I could do that one a little bit better. There we go. That works. Okay, so now we need to create some, different flaps, if you will. So opening this flap up and pushing down along this crease here, closing that flap, and we're going to bring this point to a point. So scooching down, and then pinch so that we have a point along those creases that we made, and flatten down. Now it helps if you insert your finger to the point here to reinforce it. And squoosh. And flatten. So we have a little flap. And right now you want that to be going in the upwards direction. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing on this side here. So open up your flap, bring that corner up, close your flap, and squoosh. Bring it right to the point there, so you have a nice bunch of creases right there. And then squoosh, and then fold it down. Well, folding it down in the upwards position, down and up. All right. And then turn your piece over and fold in half along these lines so that the points line up. These points on the side, this point at the top, make sure that that lines up nice and neatly, and crease it. There, so we got the flaps on one side and sort of a square on the other side. Okay, so for the next step, we're going to just take this top layer and fold this point up to here, but just a little bit beyond it, actually. And I've seen a whole bunch of other people, what they'll do is they'll fold this up and go beyond, but it's actually, I find, easier if you fold this up with the opposite side facing you so that you can line up the center crease that much easier. So that is what I'm going to do. And so basically just taking that point and I'm going to fold it up, lining up that crease. And this point is actually going to be our tail. Now, initially I made it way too small and he didn't have much of a tail. So, you know, I would say maybe about a ½ an inch-ish, and hold that in place and then start creasing down on your sides. There, so when you turn it over, you can see that we went beyond where this point is, just a little bit, not terribly much. And the lines are all lined up. All right, now from here, now this little triangle, this is going to be the tail. These flaps right here, these are going to be the ears, actually. So I'm going to start by taking one of our flaps, and instead of folding it towards itself, we're going to go in the opposite direction, actually, using this line as a guide. And then along that center line, fold it back on itself. Okay, then going to do the same thing with the other flap. Fold it across using that line as a guide. and then fold the tip back on itself using that center line as a guide. Those, believe it or not, those are going to be the little ears. Okay, now before we go any further, let's do the tail. So to do the tail, going to be doing two sort of kite folds to create sort of a fishtail, if you will. So this edge here along this folded edge here. Just fold it up. Like so. So it's half of a kite fold. And then unfold it, and then do it the same thing but in the opposite direction. So again, it's going to be this edge along this fold edge. It's a little bit fiddly because this is a very small triangle to be working with, but it's not that bad. So then you unfold that, and we're going to be working with those crisscross creases that we created. Say that five times fast. Crisscross creases. All right, and then going to squoosh them together, like so, like that, and pinch them together, so that they have some dimension to them. And that's going to be his little tail. All right, that's going to stick right up. Okay, we're almost done with the preliminaries, if you will. Now I just need to give him a little snout, which we will manipulate later. Just take the tip, fold it down a little bit, lining up the point with that crease there. There we go. And then fold the whole thing in half along that center line. Okay. So we are, believe it or not, we are in the home stretch. All right, so as you can see, he's got a little tail sticking up in the back there. Now, to make things easier, I like to have both ears sticking up for now so that they're out of the way. And I'm going to go in, insert your finger into sort of the snout, if you will. Open that up and fold it along this crease edge here. Just open it up and fold it back a little bit. Turn it over. Do the same thing. Just sort of work along this edge here. We're not doing anything permanent yet. We're just sort of priming the snoot. Okay, so right now he is essentially ready to have his head formed. So what I like to do is I like to grab his snout and push back evenly on both sides. And it is going to go beyond the jowl line, if you will, on both sides. And you want this to be symmetrical on both sides. So let's see, we've got that on that side, and this on this side. It looks about the same. And press it down, and then holding the bottom, can lift that up just a little bit to extend his snoot forward, and then push down on both sides. There you go. Now, to clean that up a little bit, lift up the ear flap and going to fold the excess back on itself along that line. And then close the flap, tucking that excess inside. Makes for a nice clean appearance. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So lifting up the ear flap, tucking the excess back. And then close the ear flap. There. Okay. Next, we're going to be doing, it's not so much folding, it's more like shaping or sculpting the paper, if you will, because it's not a definitive fold. And initially this intimidated, but it's really not that bad. We're going to be creating the arches for the bottom of our pig to create his little legs. It's not that bad, trust me. So I found that the best way to do this is going from the inside here, pinch together evenly, pinch together, trying to create sort of a point at the corner there. Just sort of get that ready there, and then do the same thing from the other side. Try to pinch together to create a bit of a point. And of course my camera doesn't want to focus very well now. That's okay. All right, so we've got the points established. From here, grab those points and push in with your thumbs. So pinching and pushing with your thumbs to create sort of a rounded edge there. Ta-da! It works. All right. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now his jowls became undone. That's okay. We can fix that. That's all right. So we're going to do the same thing with this side. So pinch the sides together to create sort of a point. And then do the same thing on this side. And then pinch those corners, push in with your thumbs. There. And yes, I have to fix his little jowls again. Sorry about that. There. Looking pretty spiffy. And of course, also, you can try to go for some symmetry, pushing from the bottom. You know, the spine with your fingers, and then the base with your thumb there. You know, try to even it out a little bit. And then, last but not least, give his nose a little bit of personality. Just sort of pull it up just a wee bit and flatten. There. Get ourselves a little piggy. And you can tweak his ears. You can curl them. Give him some eyes. What have you. You got a little piggy. Yeah, absolutely adorable. All right, my dears, so that's going to conclude today's tutorial on how to make an adorable little origami pig. I hope that you liked it, and if you did, give a little thumbs up button down below. You know that I appreciate your appreciation, as always. And you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay folding fabulous things, even little piggies, and stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Have a great day, everybody, and bye for now.